And there we have it, my friends. If all of the pieces have come together in the cosmos correctly, then thanks to an amazing person named Aurelie, we may have finally begun the crisscross applesauce crossovers between the many adventures that we have throughout our pixel biology universes and our zoo crafting series, heart series that began, other than, of course, our Sims, everything that has happened in my life in the last decade. And we may finally have it happening thanks to a beautiful series of pictures that was sent to me showing off a cat temple that Aurelie made in their world, inspired as fan art from my yammering about desperately wanting to build a cat temple in our zoo crafting world. And it actually happened, and I have been spending a ridiculous amount of time behind the scenes working on all sorts of little bits and bobs to bring to life and expand a world that would unite so many of our different adventures into one and provide a place where so many of you, no matter what adventures you enjoy among our pixel biology arena of the cosmos of its stories, might have a chance to be immortalized in that world. I'm very excited. It was a lot of work. Oh my gosh, it took me many more days than I thought to build what I did. And without the ideas and the inspiration and the design and the detailed pictures that Aurelie sent me, thank you so much, Aurelie. You are going to be like a high priestess of that cat temple for forever. And all of you could become one of the cats or people wandering that temple. All you have to do is like let me know hi. Like otherwise I don't know you're there to be able to name the cats or the like people after you. So that sounds like the gimmick where the YouTuber is like, hey, leave a comment. It helps like the little tiny itty bitty beetle robots that run the algorithm to do their thing. Don't care about that. We're more about immersive roleplay and community around here. So I just also, though, I need to have a name. So if you would like to become one of the cats or people roaming around the new cat temple that we now have in our zoo crafting adventures, that hopefully you will be seeing in actual zoo crafting sooner than later, then hi. You could tell me something cool about plants or animals, or what you think about this life, or what you would do if you could wander through Adelphi's Lapis Oasis, or perhaps the jungles of Lord Thunder, which are currently producing, like, let's see, scrumptious desserts that apparently boost the population way up. Oh my gosh, like Lord Thunder, what are you guys crafting over here? And also traditional medicine, which every time I look at, I remember how sick I have been over the last like month because we didn't know I was severely allergic to Timothy hay. We have fixed that. The guineas now have piles of orchard hay to eat. They're adorable. Their bellies are so round they look like water balloons right now because they had their morning brekkie. I love all of you. I love all of you. I mean, you guys too, but I'm actually talking about guinea pigs. And I need to show you guys more pictures of them soon. And we only have dried fish. Ginger Fury. No, we need to get like some more inventions going on in Ginger Fury Blossom Harbor. All they're exporting right now or all they're inventing actually, they don't even have a trade route yet, are dried fish. So we're gonna try to get some more interesting creations for them as well, because, as I mentioned before, each of the adventures that we are going to be having through all of our pixel biology adventures, but especially right now with Reus too, because it provided the seeds that unexpectedly finally took root after years of saying I wanted to do that. Thank you very much again, Aurelie. That's why you're going to be a permanent high priestess. We have almost completed the Castle and Knights era at 3 stars, which means we will get a special reward for completing it, depending on what that takes. And we also have plenty of god powers with our Eon points left. So I think we will be using those points to show off how you can make your villages really thrive by being able to go ahead and have them invent a lot of things and have a lot of trade routes. So we'll be talking more about that in just a moment. Since whatever they start inventing, you might see it as trade products available in our Zoodesia adventures. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like obviously, when it comes to names, you're going to see the patrons a lot because there's a literal name list. So I can use that as different characters, different cats or other creatures. Like maybe I'll add in a whole bunch of these adorable little chirobas that would be showing up in there. And we're also going to give ourselves that challenge of if we want to have the cool stuff show up as a crossover in our zoo crafting series, then we're going to need to go ahead and be able to win, like with 3 stars. That's going to be the goal. If we get 2 stars, maybe we'll still give ourselves something, but it would be the difference between a cat temple or some dried fish for trade. Big difference there. Big difference on what we probably want to be able to dive into. So there's a little bit of the crisscross, really cool little adventures we're having. Once again, thank you so much, Arieli. It would not be possible without you. And also, there have been some amazing changes going on within the world of Reus 2 as well, because there have been so many updates since I have just been busy building cat temples and trying to keep my guinea pig's cage clean. I shouldn't even say cage. They literally have a mansion. I love it. But keeping their mansion clean and keeping the cat temple being built in our Zoodesia world kept me busy enough that there have been many updates for Reus 2 that now also include new daily and weekly challenge modes that we're going to have to go ahead and poke, and the fact that I once again realize we have only just begun to unlock our god powers. So we're going to be pushing kind of hard to unlock all of these abilities because there's a lot of cool stuff like new creatures and new things showing up in the collections. There are entire new minerals that have been added into the forest thanks to some of the really cool updates. There are entire new things that you can do with your planets. So we're going to be working on that. Ooh, I didn't realize that. What? The inventions have a collection? Oh my gosh, we need to start unlocking this stuff, you guys, because all of this could start becoming desserts that we have sold from like the actual jungle in our Zoodesia series, and we can name it after names that you guys helped me come up with and then permanently remember these little adventures and these stories in a world that will expand and grow and be filled with life. And you guys might have like cats and birds and people named after you. You'll see the patrons get all sorts of fun like towers and different temples built if we win like the game or not. If we get something like low level, we might even do something like, if we really fail, we might even do something like a big slime. I don't know. And I will promise not to slow myself down too much with trying to like tit for tat everything, but we are going to indeed have echoes of our adventures rippling out and weaving together. And then one day we might be walking through a Zoo Crafting episode 3092 and walk past a oasis with a cat temple that has High Priestess Arueli walking past a cat that has Wolf Lover 93 as the name. And I'll think of you. Alright, so let's do this. We have a draft charge available to go ahead and improve the different cities. And actually, my beloved husband, another Reus god, himself, he's very good at this, so it helps a lot, pointed out to me, the cities go up to level 4. So we're actually doing great considering we're in the 2nd era. There are 3 eras, and the cities are already mostly at level 3, 3, and 2. They only go up to 4, and that's a super successful city. And also, the thing is, right now, because we lack other god powers, the only way to be able to get new drafts to unlock higher biomes and get new plants, animals, and minerals in is by upgrading the cities. So there's a little bit of a catch with the idea that if we hit all of our cities at level 3 before we're actually able to go ahead and like get far enough along, we know what era challenges we're facing, we might not have enough draft points to continue to upgrade the biomes. So we want to be very careful with that. That will not be a problem in the future because once you get enough god powers, surprise, surprise, you can unlock the ability to buy drafts with cold, hard cash that you've harvested as tax from your planet. We don't have that ability right now. We're still baby goddess, so we need to work on that. So goddess, you could give us a draft. Oh, they're talking about the Jasper. That's so cool. However, let's focus on this noble rivalry, getting everybody up so that we're at 175 prosperity on the entire planet. And let's check that out by seeing what each of the cities' specialties are. With Adelaide Faye's Lapis Oasis, if we had 2 more mineral types within the borders, and if we had 2 more gems within the borders, then her Fort Fantastic, built out of gemstones, would give us a big boost. If we get 2 more, so that we'd have 6 total minerals within the borders of the Oasis's lands, that's 150 gold bonus just for existing. So, can we get more shinies? Are there 2 more gemstones that we haven't added in yet? We have Jasper. Oh, we don't have any topaz. Ooh, and oh, okay. Well, we are kind of getting a little tight in on space. But topaz, if it's next to another gemstone, gets a boost. So we can get some there. And then we might be able to convince Adelaide to maybe expand her borders and have some amethyst. She doesn't have any amethyst yet. Or alternatively, we could replace one of her Jerobas with... She actually doesn't have any new minerals just yet, but maybe we'll spin this draft on a desert. There we go. And let's see if we can find her a gemstone that she'd be able to add into her lands. The answer's no. Phooey. But we do have desert salt. We have, oh, ostrich. Okay, come on. Ostrich just sound adorable. They do. However, if you note the Gila monster here, it is a toxic predator who is a reptile and a critter. All those little tags do affect how the biomes interact with one another and how the strength of the people are able to develop, depending on what their specialties for their various city projects will be. And I really think this is interesting because the Gila monster actually has a solitary bonus. It will give you 125 gold and 75 more science. It will basically make you smart and wealthy if you are able to give it some space. If it is not adjacent to another animal, it gives you that huge bonus. If there is another animal in the biome, ooh, then it gets less. Oh, wow. If there are 3 or 5 more animals, then they basically like give you almost no gold. Can we pull that off? Would we be able to make it so that this could be a happy Gila monster? I think we can. Even if it means chasing away some of the other animals. Because there's like the biome for the oasis that the Gila monster cares about is the desert. There's mostly just shiny rocks in the desert. I don't think Adelaide Faye would cry many tears at the Lapis Oasis if there were even less animals in the desert. So, why don't we go ahead? I do think it would be interesting to give her the ability to create some stuff, because if we have a little bit more technology in the Oasis, then she'll be able to make something with inventions. So the way that each city invents new things is by having more science. And the way that they are able to go ahead and get more trade routes, so that right now Adelaide is currently importing traditional medicine from the jungle and importing dried fish from Ginger Fury Blossom's harbor, is because she has lots of wealth. So the more wealth she gets, the more she is able to go ahead and have additional trade routes for the Oasis. If we want to be able to have some nifty inventions happen, then that would actually need more technology. So that means more science that would be here in the borders of the land. So if we're going to add in the Gila monster in just a moment, then why don't we go ahead? What science could we add? We could put down this Inargite. I thought that was copper, but it's actually Inargite. Is that a real thing? Wait, is that like real? Hang on. Oh my gosh, it's real. It is a copper mineral, but not copper. Well, you know what? You're here to learn something new every day, aren't you? And if that's next to 2 other minerals, it gets a huge boost. And then we also want to go ahead and get the Gila monster, which is a like 2-star complexity. And we also would need to have 4 diversity to get that Gila monster. And we would need 4 diversity for the date palm. But if we had the Gila monster down, then if the Gila monster was next to some agave, then the agave actually gives you additional... Interesting. Gives you additional biodiversity. The sagebush gives you additional biodiversity and a little bit of science. Maybe we should expand the desert one. That's actually probably the correct idea here. Let's make the desert a little bit bigger. And that will give us a little more room to work with like these multiple different plants and animals that we might want to try out. Because I think it would be useful to have the Enargite next to these two to be able to get us lots of science. And that would also give us the last mineral we need for the mansion. So we'll do that. And then I want to put the Gila monster in. We have to upgrade an area to do that. Whoops. Alright, so here's my thoughts. It is time to upgrade the land! So, whoops, I had the ocean giant do it, so that was a little anticlimactic. Because it has to like crab waddle all the way from the other side of the planet, but we're gonna get here. And we are going to help the oasis with the hearth of the goddess. Yes, a tippy tap, little crab golem. Or giant. Oh, no, the poor bunny. Or not bunny, the poor little mouse. Ta-da! And as we upgrade the land, what that actually is going to allow us to do is come in and the little Jorobas are now legacy areas there. So they now no longer count for the biodiversity, which is a bit of a pull, but they do go ahead and they count as having food still available for the people. However, they don't count as active animals in the area. So guess who's about to go ahead and move in and feel like this is going to be mighty fine? The Gila monster. And I actually want to give the Gila monster the spot right here because this is a super booster. That means that if we give this cranky Gila monster their loner space, they're going to give us even more golden science. So with all of that said, let's see, sunstone +2 if adjacent to a set of plant and animal. Let's get the sunstones in here. That's gonna make... Oh, wow. Okay, so we don't have the +2 from the biodiversity just yet because we need plants and animals. However, you may notice something. Look at all of that gold! Woo! So the oasis, the goddess town, is super happy. We're very close to finishing up the castles and knights already. Look, now the goddess is wearing a new outfit because the town upgraded. Ooh, and I think the town is actually gonna... Does it already look a little different? Look, it's changing! Congratulations, everyone! You're all talking about your dried fish, and it kind of freaks me out because it sort of looks like a little flat beetle, aka like a cockroach. So I keep thinking they have an insect infestation. But it's just the dried fish from Ginger Fury Blossom Harbor. And by having all of that gold and that wealth, we got a little closer to them having the ability to have a trade route. But you may notice we didn't get any new science, so yeah, the Oasis is still like, I don't know what we could invent. And we also have a little bit of a hiccup because we cannot add in the Gila monster right now, since we are currently missing the 4 biodiversity we would need in Southern Dune Desert to add that in. However, if we come on in, I'm thinking, and we put the agave down. The agave is a tier 1, or excuse me, the agave is a 1-star small flowering undergrowth plant that only provides a little bit of food. But if it happens to be next to an animal, it gives you a lot more food and it gives you more biodiversity. And just adding it alone will give us enough biodiversity that we have attracted the cranky Gila monster, who I've actually never seen within the realms of Reus before. They're a little bit cuter than life. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Look at that! And this is how you become wealthy with the crankiest cranky Gila monster ever. Now the goddess is like, look at all that gold, look at all that science. And she's inventing something, a new luxury. She's got room for a new trade route if the other cities have something to offer. And we have completed the era just like that. Look at her go. Are we sending a trade route? She's sending on a trade mission to go see if she can buy more stuff from Lord Thunder in the jungle. What have we invented? She's currently inventing a new luxury. I wonder what it's gonna be. I had no idea that the collections... Luxurious amulets? Popular gift from the dead to their grandchildren. And there we go. So that would be something that we could add into our zoo crafting, like, crossover bits. And now we're importing the scrumptious desserts because we have the money from this cranky Gila monster making it so that we were able to open a new trade route. Like, that's amazing. And now we could also say that these luxurious amulets could end up becoming what we might decide to keep when we conclude some of our adventures here and bring over a element or so, whatever feels right, but at least something to reward ourselves for 3 stars. Or something like we could add in like poisonous, scary creatures that inhabit a territory that you don't want to visit too often, but could get interesting resources from. If, say, we had completely flumped this and not even gotten a single star. So that's kind of how like the crossover stuff will work. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, then we'll just be able to focus on becoming a god for a little while here in Reus, because we still have 55 eons. We have already completed the era. You know? You know, I think we might work on kind of like expanding the individual projects that each city can have, because as you can see from the previous farm capabilities we had, you lose these big, huge, beautiful boosts after you leave the era. So what I think we might do is indeed work on making sure that the wood workshop in the jungles of Lord Thunder, who have indeed invented scrumptious desserts and traditional medicine, are able to thrive alongside the coral divers with Ginger Fury Blossom, who I think might be about to find themselves getting at least one more ocean area. Maybe we can convince them to spread out. So I think that's what we're going to be doing next, is trying to get Ginger Fury Blossom to dream big dreams. And maybe we just turn, you know what? Maybe we'll just turn this into more shallows. That could totally work. And then we would be able to get a little bit closer on the coral diving because they really love coral. I think that'd be awesome. This is going to be so much fun. I am extremely excited, my friends, and will indeed be potentially every time we complete an episode, what I might do is roll a little dice, and then I will add that many cats or creatures or something into the area that is currently thriving in zoo crafting from the adventures that we are having here, and those creatures will be named after you guys, as well as our amazing patrons who will probably be big traders wandering around. My eyes are sparkling because the worlds will continue to grow and get bigger and sprawl and spiral out into something beautiful that will be a gorgeous, living, vibrant ecosystem network of our memories that we've shared together. And I'm extremely excited. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!